Hey guys, welcome back to ArtosisCasts. Today we have a Jaedong game, but it's not because of Jaedong, or not completely because of Jaedong that we're taking a look at this. It's because Byul is playing. You guys might not remember Byul. So first off, Byul is a somewhat common name. Byul means star in Korean, and there was a very famous for a little bit StarCraft 2 player that went by Byul. He was actually one of the strongest Zergs that we had during some of the peak of StarCraft 2. He was incredibly good. But this is Byul, the Terran player. Byul, his claim to fame is that he won the very first ACS tournament for ASL. And he was like a very strong up-and-coming Terran at this time. He made it into ASL 1 or 2 times, I want to say, but never really did too much, and I just don't see him around that often. I'm not really sure why, but when I saw Byul had played a strong pro like Jaedong, it's like, you know what, we got to check that out. We got to check that out. See what type of shape he's in right now. I feel bad that, you know, some of these guys, they're like rising up and you think you're going to see something out of them, and then it's just like radio silence for years. Like, look at Ride Sky. This is like the absolute example of someone who's been at the top of the ladder, super strong mechanically, and just hasn't been able to make anything at all happen. Man, it just takes years and years and years to become a strong StarCraft 1 pro, and it just doesn't happen for some people, unfortunately. Don't I know it? But yeah, let's see what type of shape Byul is in right now. He's just doing a standard wall. Jaedong over here, standard hatchery first. So, I mean, I would like to see that. Just like a very regular game to see what type of shape Byul is in. And of course, Jaedong has been very strong lately. I feel like I haven't seen too many Jaedong ZVTs lately. A few here and there, but not as many as I was seeing like month or two ago. And yeah, I guess that's it while we wait for the builds to kind of pick up a little bit. I do want to thank you guys for tuning into ArtosisCasts. Channel's been doing very well. I hope that you're enjoying all the extra content that's coming out as well. Some of the longer deep dives. Of course, the regular will still just be a game a day, but definitely adding in a few larger matches in there, including all the ASL stuff. Yeah, I hope that you guys are enjoying all of that. And thank you for subscribing to the channel. You should check if you're subscribed, like the video, leave a comment. And of course, I do have a Patreon, patreon.com/Artosis. And a big thanks to everyone who has signed up there. I really do appreciate it. You can check that out. The link is in the description. And yeah, so taking a look. Very fast gas following the command center. The speed of this gas tells me it's probably a mech build. Or it could be a Valkyrie rush as well, but like a very fast factory. Like, he would have already started the engineering bay if it was a +1 build. And generally the gas is just slightly slower than that for a +1 build. So that's my guess. I will definitely see a factory coming out of him momentarily here. It's actually become a pretty popular build to do like a wall in and then gas right after command center. You can actually get into 2 factory Goliath, and the Goliaths are popping out like just before the mutas get there, which is pretty strong. Or of course, you know, Valkyrie rushes still have a place for sure. So the 3 Marines walked up here. They were looking for this Overlord. We've actually seen on this channel, on this map, Jaedong lose the Overlord in this position to this exact move out. So you can see he's actually taken that into his play and is not sending it in anymore, or at least he's waiting a little bit to send it in. I bet you this will eventually go here, but I think he's waiting for the time after Zergling speed is done so that the Marines won't be walking around. That's my guess. And for Byul down here, it does look like this is, well, we can't tell you if it's Valkyrie or not. You don't need to start the second factory because if you're going Goliaths, Armory and Factory take the same amount of time to build, so you can just do both of the second one and the Armory at the same time, and it's actually better optimization than just starting the second factory straight up. Add-on, Starport. Okay, so this could be the Vulture Valkyrie style that we've seen popping up a little bit. I'm actually really interested to see if that's what he's going to do here. I've seen it, like, most of the time when I see the Valkyrie Vulture build, it's been like factory before the command center. But yeah, he's getting speed. He's getting his engineering bay. You know, the one thing here is that you have to play this blind. If Jaedong happened to be doing a lurker ling all in, like he would just die to that. There would be like no real chance for him to hold on. It'd be very slim win margins. So I just want to put that out there because that's something that I've seen a little bit on the ladder, and that's something that Shine would do if Shine gets into ASL. If this build's popular that Byul is doing, Shine would just destroy people. He'd be like, oh, you're doing Valkyrie rushes? That's okay, I have lurkers. But yeah. Either way, some vultures are on the way. The Valkyrie should get started. He's got a nice bunker here, getting his missile turrets up in like perfect timing. Jaedong right now with a bunch of mutas coming across the map. Yeah, I'm so happy to be seeing this because I actually wanted to try this exact build that Byul is doing, but I couldn't remember because like I said, I've only seen this variant like at this timing like once or twice. I couldn't remember exactly how it was done. I didn't want to risk and be like, oh, I forgot like this little part that just kills you. So Jaedong going to fly in. The vultures have already killed all the lings on the map. Now, Jaedong is getting some good damage down here, unfortunately for Byul. He doesn't have a Valkyrie. He just started. Oh, wait, no, he does have a Valkyrie. I was like, damn, that's not blinking. So he does have the one Valkyrie and is going to be able to push these back. In the meantime, his vultures are over here killing pretty much everything. Wow, that looks pretty damn strong, huh? This kind of reminds me of Noel's game against Queen on Dominator in ASL. What season was it? ASL 19 or something like that? Where basically, if you guys remember that game, I've mentioned it a lot of times because Noel's been playing really well. But basically, Noel did a vulture drop when the mutas were coming across the map. Like he waited, he slowed the timing down so the mutas wouldn't be there to clean it up. This reminds me of that. Like he ran the vultures out right as the mutas are supposed to fly in. And he did take a little bit of damage, but the vultures did fantastically over there. Like 3 speed vultures, he killed a lot of drones. Jaedong definitely took a lot of damage. Game's definitely not over, but really strong damage and holds on with the Valkyrie at home, starting his additional barracks as well. I really like that. That seemed really strong. Now, if Jaedong had already had a sunken, it would have been a little bit harder to pull off. And also, some players, if they sniff out that you're going tech, open up with the mutas and 2 Scourge. And if you have the mutas and 2 Scourge there, he might have gotten a lot more damage because the Valkyrie might have either been picked off or had to pull back. So just a couple side notes. I'm almost saying them out loud so I can like kind of remember them when I try this build myself. It's like part of it for sure. I cast with selfish intentions occasionally. So lurker upgrade on the way. Hive coming for Jaedong. It looks like he's really not committing heavily to mutas at all. He's got 6 as well as some Scourge, so it's not like a very good number overall. Siege tank going to be trying to chop through this egg and just kind of open this area up. You may as well. The tank has good damage there. The mutas dive on the tanks. Like, I understand that he wants to get rid of the tanks, because, like, the timing that was going to come out of here was actually a little bit scary, but I don't think that that was a good move from Jaedong. Like, he basically lost all of his Mutalisks and the Scourge. So he doesn't really have a way to deal with the Valkyries that well. Like, we can see he's making more Scourge, and there's still going to be 2 tanks. You know, 3 tanks are so much better than 2 tanks. 3 tanks one-shot a lurker. And that's like a very important thing to keep in consideration. It's so much easier to hold on against the 2 tank push. So, but at the same time, like, I don't know that that was the greatest move from Jaedong, because you can see the Valkyrie count is really high. There's not a lot of air to try to fight it off, just those few Scourge. He's already knocked a bunch of those out. So Byul is going to come up with the push. This is tough, man. That Defiler Mound is very slow here. Byul, it looks to me, it's very likely he'll get the Hatchery if these units get up there before the flank. Oh, he hits the flank just at the right time, I would say. Oh, but Byul's spread is quite good here, too. These lurkers will be able to pick off this tank. Well, he unburrows pretty quickly, but... Oh! That was I just got chills from that. That was really well done from Jaedong. I am in shock how well he did that. He might still lose here. But that was like, I can't even believe he did that well on holding that. Holy crap. Really, really superb play there from Jaedong. Byul, in the meantime, his Valkyries are dealing some serious damage. He's getting a lot of Overlords. You can see Jaedong's supply is not super great. He does have 34 drones, which is decent. It looks like all the Valkyries will finally get pushed off the map, I think. There's enough Scourge, or... No, I guess he's 2 Scourge below what he needs to clear all of them, but... Yeah, gets another one. Only a single Valkyrie left, not so powerful anymore. Looking back at Byul's base, he's taking a 3rd base, and he's switching into mech. No big surprise there. Dude, this is a good build from Byul. But, like, Jaedong, like, I would say probably... the Muta sacrifice actually almost makes more sense now than what I was saying before, looking at how this has gone. I'll go back and take a look at that at the end. Take a look at how everything kind of played out. Because if Jaedong wins this, it has to do with busting the push that hit his front natural. Well, obviously. Sometimes I say something out loud and I'm like, duh. But really, though, truly. Okay, so +1 is on the way. Byul has added his factories really, really well here. He's laying some mines. Dude, this build from Byul is really good. I'm serious. This looks really, really strong. This is one of the better mech switches I've seen, and it's like slightly lower economy. Like the 3rd and 4th bases don't feel super fast. Like normally you'd start a 4th base by now, and I think he is getting ready for that. Like he sent some Marines up here. That might be to push that Overlord away, but generally you would want some by now. Oh, that mine was so good. That was such a good mine. Oh. Okay, Jaedong going to set up a 4th base. Now, playing against mech, Jaedong has been in this position a fair amount of times that we've seen. Like, well, a lot of times. But this looks to me like it's going to be a game where he has to do, like, endless Dark Swarm on a single lurker out front to stop a tank push. He's in a very defensive stance right now, and there's a lot of vultures that are flowing out that are going to kind of control the map. And you can see that Byul already has kind of a plan for what Jaedong must do here. He's getting a Radiate. He's getting more vessels. He's got the triple gas, which is really important. The barracks are coming out to check everything out. Yeah, this build is excellent from Byul. This position looks pretty darn good. Normally, if someone's on 3-base mech, I'll be like, this isn't how it should be. But, like, tempo-wise, everything kind of makes sense for what Byul has done this game. And look at this. He's getting in here. He's getting some drone kills. He's finding places to deal a little bit of damage. Really, really superb play. And Jaedong is blocking everything. He's getting melee upgrades. Okay. Okay. I have seen more people using like ultras and lings to deal with mech. Yeah, look, he throws down the Ultralisk Cavern. I thought that this was a huge mistake. Like we saw in ASL Season 20, Saber tried to do Crazy Zerg against Sox mech, I believe it was. And he kind of got made fun of for it, and I was definitely a little bit you know, talking about how this is probably not the right composition to be going for. And, you know, Flash was mentioning that he looked kind of weak and all that. But I've actually, since then, I've seen it more often as a way people are trying to deal with mech. And it's been interesting to see the way that they're playing it. So we'll see how this ends up going for Jaedong. But he's switched into mutas a little bit, get a few tank picks here and there. The Charon boosters are not done quite yet, but the Goliath will counter pretty well then, and he does have a good amount of vessels, although it's hard to keep vessels alive. If Zerg knows you have a bunch of vessels, even if you have Goliaths don't kill Scourge well. They're really bad at targeting down Scourge, and it takes a lot of hits. So, like, you can definitely pick these off better than if they were with Bio. Hard to keep Vessels alive with Mech. But we'll see what he's able to do there. Okay, and this is what I was talking about, like, that he'll probably have to do consistently is just hit Dark Storms here. Okay, he plagues the tanks, sacks a Defiler for that. A couple Vultures end up getting in. He is getting a 4th base here as well. Okay, he irradiated the Defiler. That was not the right irradiate. 100% that was not. And these, like, it was going to die to Tank Splash because it was too far out. You want to save your irradiates for those Lurkers because you just can't hit them under the Dark Swarm. Good moves from Jaedong. He's going to clear this push. Just 1-0 upgrades. Okay, he does have double armory going there as well. Really good macro on those factories. Really good vision, really good minds. Byul is looking really strong, guys. Like, I haven't seen many Byul games. Like, I can't even remember the last time I casted a Byul game on this channel. I've definitely casted a fair amount of his games over the years, but, like, it's been a while. And this looks really, really good. Like, this is great execution. I think the way he's moving his army is superb. The way he's laying his mines and moving Vultures around is superb. The way he added in the Vessels, that was really, really good. Jaedong, though, like, Jaedong is a better player than Byul, just to make that clear, even right now. Like, some people try to act as if Jaedong's not in good shape. Jaedong's in excellent shape right now. He's not the dominant #1 Zerg in the world that he was during his prime, but, like, Jaedong is... Like, I put him as a top 5 Zerg easily right now. And maybe even higher than that. For me, it's like, Soma's the best right now. I actually think Queen is a little bit stronger than Sulky right now. Then maybe Sulky, then maybe Jaedong or Hero, and then the other one of those two. Like, that's kind of how I look at it right now, based on the games I've seen. But yeah. Just to throw that out there, that like, what Byul is doing is impressive, even though Jaedong's weakest matchup is this matchup. I think he's quite good at it. Okay, so that 4th base is up. He actually doesn't have the gas yet. You definitely do want to get that gas. Has just a handful of units here. Ooh, I kind of actually like those right there. Because, like, eventually, a lot of times Zergs get into drops. Now, here come the Ultras. Like I was mentioning before, this has become a little bit more popular, going for some Ultras and Lings against Mech. Now, I think you probably should get drop with that as well. Good Dark Storms really quick from Jaedong. He does have those Adrenal upgrades. But yeah, part of the problem is that Zerglings get splattered by +3 tanks. Like, +3 tanks are one-shotting just about everything. And that can be really problematic. Oh, wow. The egg aggroed into the drones, even though drones were in the egg. That's really funny. Really good play once again. Getting quite a few drones. It definitely looks like a Byul victory, but, like, Jaedong is not down and out yet. He keeps taking a ton of damage here. If he had one more base, I would actually say that he's likely to win it. But when you look at the map control that Byul has right now, and how Jaedong is struggling to keep drones alive, like, I do think Byul is very likely to take this. But Jaedong still has healthy supply. Like, 119 is still playable, you know? It's down at around 70 where you're like, okay, Zerg is just falling apart and about to die. But 120 is like, he might be able to do it. Oh gosh, like, just a small handful of mutas hit here, and there's nothing there to defend. So that is an issue. Byul does have this base as well, so it's not the end of the world. Another Dark Storm goes down. Yeah, you can kind of see the value of these Ultras. Like, if you were playing, like, the Ultras just have enough health, basically, that they stay alive long enough that they can actually kill the mech units under Dark Storm. Whereas if it's, like, Lings and Hydras, sometimes they just die, even though they're under Dark Storm from the splash damage. Okay, throws in a Radiate down on that Ultra. Jaedong is getting close to knocking out this base, and it looks like a few Goliaths sent up there. He really needs to get that base mining again. Jaedong is, like, kind of starting to take this game over, even though Byul has so many bases right now. This is, like, I have some sick chills from both sides. This is just a great game in general. I love the play from Byul. Absolutely love it. And Jaedong has been playing out of his mind, and I love to see a real Zerg master try to utilize the Ling Ultra against mech. Although, like, I do feel like he's maybe pushed a little bit too hard, that he could fall back into a slightly more defensive stance here and have a better outcome maybe against the Ling Ultra. But I think it's still not super, super tested exactly how you play against these positions. Because it's like, how many games do we get in a mech? They're all very different. Jaedong ends up GGing. It's a little bit too cost efficient for him, it looks like. But this was an excellent game. And I actually want to jump back to the held push that Jaedong did. Because remember, he dived in and got the tank right here. And the Valkyries killed off basically all the mutas, and like one muta made it out, right? I don't even... There it is. See, this guy has just been sacrificed. Well, his friends were on that one tank. But I want to jump forward to the actual push. Now, this push is super scary. First off, there's enough Valkyries that air units aren't going to do anything. Then he's going to have multiple siege tanks, a bunch of Marines with stim. They don't have +1. I actually hadn't noticed that, but that's actually kind of a big deal. Now, watch this hold, because I mentioned that, like, this could kill if this army gets up here to meet, because the third siege tank, I already mentioned that 3 tanks will one-shot a lurker. It makes a huge difference. And basically, Jaedong had to flank before this army gets there to win this game. And of course, he didn't end up winning, as we saw. But watch this engagement. Okay, I'll leave it on fastest for a moment. I might pause during here. Okay, so he comes down. Now, he hits the scan here. Obviously, you need scans to deal with these. The lurker's coming up from behind. This is the part that we're going to pay real close attention to. And look how close this army is. If these units are up here, Byul crushes this. All right, let's watch. Now watch this. He's going to get a couple spines, and then he's going to unburrow these in a second. Okay, so this unburrow, this is the part that's crazy, because it's like, okay, these are all dying. This is about to pop. And he's still got Byul coming up. So these 4 lurkers burrowing here, he can still stim his Marines over. And even if he doesn't get the hatchery, he's going to get a ton of drones. But watch what Jaedong does, because this almost feels like a premature unburrow. That's what I thought it was. But then when I was casting, I was like, oh, this is a very red tank. He's leaving a Ling on here. Maybe this works out. And he has his rally here. So watch this. Okay? I'm going to actually slow it down just a little bit. So the Lings block for a moment. Byul has to pull back, and then he goes up and burrows and zones everything else out. That's crazy. That is a crazy hold right there. Okay? Jump back again. Seriously, this is like really, really impressive. It was such a tight unburrow. Here come these units. These units want to move forward. He knows everything's about to break. And these Lings slow him down just long enough to get these lurkers into position. Watch this. That is a wild hold. Skin of your teeth hold right there. Damn. Sick game. Sick opener from Byul. Absolutely loved it. Hope you guys did too. Thank you for watching. See you next time.